So we'll work on that. So palm side to side, let's settle down. Maybe while waiting, you can start in the gentler version, child's pose, knees wide, and maybe resting your forehead on the wheel. And just taking this moment, one of the few moments you have in the day where you are with yourself, with your thoughts, with your breath. And just let your shoulders relax down, let your hips sink towards your heels. And just slowly, just bringing some calmness and stillness into the present. And then if you're ready to move to the more extended version to lengthen out your spine, if you're in the rested one, then palms on your wheel, squeeze your hip between your biceps and let your chest drop towards the mat. Feel the length and extension here in your spine as you sink your hips while reaching your palms and your wheel away from you. And just notice how your belly pressing against your thigh, your chest expand, but also bringing your breath around to the side, to the back, rather than just concentrating on the front here. Just a few more breaths here before we start moving, warming up. Some flow to warm up the rest of the body, some play, and then we will have a nice long stretch towards the end. As promised, making it not as heavy as usually a wheel class would be. Last 2 breaths here. Now slowly on your next inhale, rising up. Just moving your wheel slightly diagonally to the right side. And then let's extend while sinking the left hip back more. And then again, squeezing your hip between your bicep, feeling the length here on the left side. Breathing here and see if you can expand your left ribs a bit more. And then slowly on your next inhale, rolling up over to the opposite side. Again, taking the effort to sink in the right hip towards the right heel a bit more. Sinking, lengthening at the same time. Breathing nice and deep. And then slowly on your next inhale, rolling yourself up. Let's bring your knees together, thighs together. Take your wheel over to the right, let's side stretch here. So inhale, left arm up. Exhale, let's sink over. So gentle first one. Breathing, and then inhale, slowly come up. And then this time, see if we can shift the hips like we did, down towards the right side, and then lengthen out. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So while you fix your screen, just do your right side, and then the same thing, we're going to go over to the left. So left palm reaching over. And then for the first one, just gently just shift the hips over. We're not going as strong, so we're dropping the hips over to the left. So only on the first one, you shift to the right. And then on the second round, shift the hips down to the left so that we have nice stretch on the left side. And then again, going over. So a gentler one while stretching also into the calves, in towards the thighs, in towards the knees. And then slowly come back through center, cross your ankles, and let's come to a sit as we warm up in towards the legs. So let's extend your legs out about mat's width or wider than hips. Bring the wheel in front of you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, roll it down. So you're going to move with your breath. So inhale, rising up. Lengthen and then exhale out. So only on the third round, then we're going to hold. So sort of prepping the spine. You can bend into your knees, into your hamstring. And then on your final one, reach where you can reach at this moment, still flexing into your feet, maybe bending in the knees because it's still early, as we're just prepping the hamstring, lengthening in towards the lower back here. One more breath. Now slowly on your next inhale, rolling yourself up. So let's take the legs a bit wider, getting in towards the inner thigh. So same thing, we're going to move. So inhale, press up, and then exhale, roll the wheel away, maybe nearer on the first one and then further away as you progress. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. So gently waking up the spine here. Inhale one last time. Exhale, roll the way away, and then lengthen out, feeling and breathing in towards the inner thigh as we wake it up. Shoulders away from the ear, back is long. Breathing in towards the inner thigh here. And then slowly inhale, rolling yourself up. Let's bend the knees in, placing it on the inside of the wheel. So again, we're going to open up here in towards the hips now. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring your chest towards your wheel. Inhale, press it sort of away, and then exhale, bring it in. So again, one last time. Inhale, lengthen first, and then exhale, chest down. Maybe you can reach to the front and hug your wheel in, but keep the back flat. So try to wing the knees away from you, breathing. So again, you can adjust how far the heels are away from your inner thigh. We're just starting to wake up the hips here, and then we'll come into tabletop and start warming up in towards more of the spine, adding movement to the legs. Now inhale, slowly rising up. Place your palms out and then get your legs out. Cross your ankles and come into tabletop. So wheel in front of you, palms framing your wheel, stack your joints. And then let's move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So notice how the back feels. So again, like yesterday, you're going to engage in towards the core. Press down the palms, roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then going through your version of cat-cow that feels comfortable for you. And then slowly you're going to come back to neutral. We're going to thread the needle. So let's move the wheel over to the left side. So it should be in line where your arm is going to go. So on the inhale, right arm is going to come up. Exhale, thread it under. Hand on the wheel. As you roll it away, take your head down. The left palm can move to support you. So you should feel a big stretch down the right side of the shoulder blades, up the arm towards your fingers. So the right shoulder would be hovering, that's fine, as long as you feel that deep stretch here. Now slowly pressing onto your left palm, coming up. Release your right palm, reach it up over and open up the chest. And then exhale, gently release it down, moving your wheel over to the opposite side, making sure nothing's in the way. And then inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, placing the left palm on the wheel. Bend the elbow and take yourself down. Maybe shift your palm so that's under your elbow. And then feel the stretch here on this side is much stronger. So ease out if it's too much. So your hips is going to go right towards the right side, which is fine because it's a deeper. But if you got the space, then shift it back towards center and you feel even a bigger stretch. A twist down the top of the left shoulder over towards the right waist. Slowly on your next inhale, you're going to push onto your right palm, lifting up. Releasing your left palm from the wheel, reaching it up for a counter stretch. And slowly bring it back. Let's bring the wheel in towards the center, coming into puppy pose. So shift back if you need the space, hips over your knees. Palms together as you this time take the head through and sink the chest all the way down. Feel that nice stretch already. We really stretch towards the shoulder blades down. So this one will be evening both sides out. So staying steady or shifting forward. If you like to move, and then maybe take the chest towards the thigh and then shift forward. And then really getting in towards the spine here. And then once you're ready, rolling back up, bring the wheel in and then placing the elbow onto the wheel, palms together. And then sink down and feel the release, or you feel good. And then you can always take the hips down towards the heels. And feel the nice stretch on the back of the tricep. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then slowly inhale, coming back up. We're going to stand on our knees here. Going to extend the right leg up, coming into our gate pose. So taking the wheel over to the left side, left palm plants, and then reach your right arm over, really pressing into your right outer sole here. Open up the right shoulder as we start waking up our spine, our legs, our inner thigh. Inhale, coming up. Turn the right foot towards the right, bend into the knee, shift the wheel over back to the right side, in towards your baby side angle. So opening up in towards the inner thigh here. Sink. So moving between two sides. So you're going to play with wheel, pick it up over to the left side. Sink. Press down the right. Lean. Inhale, using your obliques, come back up, turn your feet well over to the right, so making you work hard for your money today. Coming back up one last time, will shift. So sort of getting your brain to work also as you move your arms, your legs, timing, turning, shifting, and then sinking. And then slowly you're going to come back through center, turn the toes back in the front, move your wheel away, and then you're going to sink, release the toes, sink down your hips towards your heel, and then feel the opening here in towards the right inner thigh. Extend out your spine at the same time, palms side by side on your wheel. Take the chest, pressing it against the thigh. And then slowly on your inhale, rising back up. And then we're going to change sides. So bring the right knee back in with the left, and then extend the left leg out. Again, toes pointing forward, move the wheel over to the right, moving between our modified side plank and baby side angle. So again, moving with your breath, timing. So we're starting moving upper body, warming up the lower body. So shifting between the two positions, being comfortable with moving your wheel, moving your lower body, left to right. So again, moving with your breath, no hurried. Just getting both the brains and the whole body moving at the same time. And then finally, if you finish your 3 rounds, you're going to re-straighten the leg, toes point forward, wheel back in front, and then untuck the toes if you got it tucked. Sink your hips back towards your heel, palms on your wheel, and then really lengthen out the spine here. Press into the left foot and feel that stretch in towards the inner thigh. And then slowly on your next inhale, you're going to rise all the way back up. Bring the left knee back towards the right. Bring your palms to frame your wheel. We're coming up to a first downward facing dog. Once you're in downward dog, pad out the legs, heel down, and then the other heel down. Notice how your legs feel at this point. We still haven't really started moving, so we're going to start our floor warm up, play with some balance, and then explore some of the older stuff that we've done, but we've not done it for quite a while actually. So slowly we're going to lower back down the knees first. We're going to open up in towards the lower back, and you'll see why next. Bring the wheel behind you in towards the supported camel. Squeeze the thighs in or the calves in together. Maybe again, depending on height, if you can reach your hips down, you're going to take your right arm up and then reach it behind you, or you can just hold and push and come up in towards a camel. Toes back can be tugged or untugged. Roll and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hips forward over the knees, supporting your lower back here. And then slowly come back through center. Wheel in front, just release in towards child's pose to release the lower back. You can keep the toes tugged just to stretch out the spine again. And then slowly round back up. Place your palms down, come back through downward facing dog. So notice how the lower back feel. We'll continue to slowly open it back up, and then we'll do our vinyasa, and then we'll try out the pose that we're talking, our chin stand, playing with the arm balance, that we'll do the transition between the two because we are getting stronger, hopefully. So in your next inhale, bend your knees, let's step forward. Inhale for your halfway lift, hands on your wheel. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Let's take your wheel up and open up towards the shoulders. First, a back bend, so bring the wheel behind, pushing against your shoulder blades. Elbows squeezing together, hips slightly forward. And then coming back through center, exhale in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, step back in towards your first plank. So engage your core and then going through your up dog. Lifting up for your downward facing dog. Adjust here and notice the difference between this down dog. So it's much shorter, much higher, so your heels may touch down. If it doesn't matter. On your next inhale, lifting up, looking forward, step your right foot to the outside of the wheel, roll the wheel underneath your left thigh. So make sure it's nice and supported here, thigh is pressing against, it's above the knee. And then inhale, arms reaching up. Standing nice and tall here, nice deep breath. Now exhale, right arm's going to reach back in towards your open arm twist. Still hips forward, so here where the wheel is quite strict, because if you shift, you feel your thigh moving the wheel and you may fall or lose your balance. So this is a great way to test your twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, prayer twist again, palms together, left elbow outside right knee. Press again, so making sure the thigh is facing down, that left hip is facing down so you don't fall. And then slowly bring your palms to frame your right foot. Extend the right leg out straight. So your left thigh is going to lift away from the wheel, doesn't matter. Modified pyramid, we're stretching into the right hamstring. You're going to start to roll the wheel in front of you. Left palm's going to place on the wheel, bend into your right knee, hopping off, coming into warrior three. Right arm reaches front, left leg reaches back. Nice deep breath here. Now on your exhale, you're going to bend the left knee, reach your right foot or right hand towards your left foot, coming in towards sort of a revolve, a half moon. So shoulders still square towards you. We're just wanting to stretch out this left quad here. Nice deep breath. Now slowly bend into the right knee, release your foot, pick up your wheel, squeeze your knee in, come up to stand. We're going to place the left foot on the inside of the wheel here. Kick it back, coming into dancers. So right hand can counterbalance. If you fall off, come back. So lots of work on that right leg. Nice deep breath here. Now exhale, slowly bring it back center. Release the foot. We're going to come into half moon. So turn the wheel over to your right hand. Slowly kick your left leg back as you lower your wheel down. Right palm stack. And then start opening up in towards the hip. Nice, good control here. Left foot flex, left arm comes up. Breathing here, almost done here. We're going to come into triangle from here. So deep bend into the right knee, let the left foot drop. Roll the wheel behind your calf and then open up in towards your triangle pose here. Breathe, everything is nice and purposeful. Moving with intention, with control and with grace. And then slowly release the left palm. Start spinning back towards the front. Pivot the left leg. Bring the wheel back in. And then we're going to step forward. Coming back in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Going over to the left side. Again, we fold. Inhale, rising up, pick your wheel up. Bend the elbows, coming back in towards the back bend, squeeze the elbows in, hips slightly forward, and then releasing all the way down in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we step back. Vinyasa number 2, in towards your plank. Going through your vinyasa, and we all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here, nice deep breath. So the whole sequence repeat on this side. So on your next inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step your left foot to the outside of the wheel. Roll the wheel back under your right thigh. Bend deep into the left knee. Once you're there, inhale, arms over your head. Exactly. So make sure it's right under so you don't fall. So open arm twist, left arm goes back. So if you move too much of the lower body, that wheel's going to move. So control your movement. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, prayer twist. Right elbow outside left knee. Right thigh is still pressing down the wheel. You're nice, you're supported. Breathing here, nice and deep. Now slowly turn back down, frame your right foot. Straighten out the left leg in towards a modified pyramid. Right thigh, lift off the wheel. You're going to re-bend into the left knee, roll the wheel in front of you. We're shooting up in towards warrior 3. So prepare, energy in the right toe, swing out, left knee, left arm extend, right leg extend in front of you, flex into the right foot, nice T shape here. And then preparing to come up after this. So before that, revolve a half moon. So bend the right leg in, left hand reaches for the right foot. Squeeze it in towards the glutes. Feel the nice stretch on that right calf and the right thigh. And then slowly you want to release. Squeeze the right knee in. Square back your hips. Pick up your wheel. Come up to stand. So upper body strength here. Hook your right foot in. Kick it out behind you for dancers. So you can go as far or lift up as high. If your balance is off, then don't go too far. And then slowly we're going to release, coming back through center. Remember, changing hands this time. Left hand's going to hold on the wheel, placing it down. Start opening up in towards your half moon, nice and gracefully. So there's control here, no rushing. You're breathing, you're moving, and the control of your position, your pose. So remember, it's not about the pose itself, but how you get into it. Now deep bend on the left knee, drop the right foot down, roll the wheel, and open up in towards triangle. So every movement, every change, every transition is moving with purpose. No jerky movement, nice and smooth. So I'm going to try it one more time, so you should be nice and warm by then. Now slowly turn back towards the front, pivot your leg, pick up your wheel, back in towards the center, step forward, coming into forward fold. Release any tension, shake out the legs. And then slowly we're going to rise up to stand, repeating the round all over again. So bend the elbow, come into a back bend, hips forward, release in towards your forward fold. So maybe second round, you're more familiar now, you know where we're going. Inhale for your halfway lift, exhale, step back, vinyasa. So plank, up dog. So sometimes it may not seem much, all these things we do, but you realize you're building strength, you're building up stamina. So on your next inhale, bend into your knees, step your right foot forward, roll the wheel under your thigh. And then once you're steady, arms rise, and then straight away, exhale, right arm back, left arm forward twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, prayer twist, left elbow outside right knee. Press your palms together, maybe look towards the back of your mat. And then exhale, come back to center, frame your right foot, straighten out your right leg, lift up the thigh from the wheel, folding deeper. Just checking in how that right hamstring feel. And then slowly re-bend into the right knee. Remember, warrior 3, roll the wheel in front, kick off, left leg extend, right arm in front. Nice T-shape, flex into your left foot, getting ready. Squeeze the left knee in as you pick up the wheel to come up to step. We forgot the bending the knee. So extend back out first, catch the foot, give it a squeeze first. And then it's up to you from here. You can always bend the knee without releasing the foot. Come up to stand. You can always do it that way. Don't fall. Release the foot in towards the wheel. Kick it behind you, coming into a second expression of your dances. Nice deep breath here. Steady legs. Before we release, changing hands now in towards your half moon. Wheel to the right. Strong right leg. Kick the left leg back. Stack the left hip over the right. Open up the palm, flex into the left foot. Make another T shape. Breathe here. Deep bend next in towards your right knee. Drop the left leg back in towards your triangle. Nice deep breath here. And then slowly pivot back towards the front. Bend into your right knee. Wheel on the inside. Step it forward. Coming back in towards your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold again all the way down. If you want, you can always move the wheel behind you to go deeper. And then slowly on your next inhale, rising all the way up. Left side last time. Bend the elbow, come into your deepest back bend, maybe. And then slowly releasing, going through the vinyasa. Inhale for your halfway lift next. Exhale, step back in towards your plank. Nice and steady, core in, and then going through your up dog. In towards your downward dog. Breathe here, shake out your head, pad out your legs. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look forward, left foot to the outside of the wheel. Roll your wheel back, thigh lands on top of the wheel, arms over your head. Getting ready, exhale, left arm reaches back, open arm twist. Feel the strength here. Inhale, come back. Exhale, prayer twist over to the opposite side. Press your palm together, twist a bit deeper. And then slowly release, come back through center, frame your foot. Lift up the thigh, straighten out the left knee, folding in towards your pyramid or modified pyramid. Getting ready for your warrior three. Rebend into your left knee, roll the wheel in front. Kick off that right foot. Left arm extend, right leg behind. Feel the strength, flex into the right foot. Getting ready to bend the knee first, which I forgot on the other side. So catch your foot, squeeze it in. You can keep the foot holding or release it to come up to stand. So deep bend in your left knee, pick up your wheel. Release the foot in towards the wheel. Kick it behind, in towards your dancer's pose. Slowly come back through, changing hands, half moon. Wheel to the left, stack under your shoulder. And slowly open up in towards your half moon, flex into the right foot. Make your T shape or L shape, whichever shape you want to call it, and then deep bend in the left knee. Drop the right foot back. Wheel down, open up. Triangle pose, almost there. Breathe and then slowly pivot back towards the front. Wheel in the middle, stepping up in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, roll the wheel behind you, come to a sit. Feet nice and wide. Let's windshield wiper those hips, the tired legs. So it's not too much of a flow, but the transition is quite heavy on the legs, so hopefully the legs are all nice and ready. Let's open up in towards the hips a bit more, and you'll see why. Bring your feet together, squeeze the right knee in, so a bit of your balance. And if you want, help it straight in towards the left knee, or you can do it hands-free. Anchor goes on top of the knee. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, prayer twist over. So keep pressing the right knee away. We've already done our twist, the spine is ready. Now it's just about the hip. So if you can't reach, you can come in the middle. You're still twisting, you're still opening in towards the hips here. Nice deep breath. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up. Hook your fingers are on your big toe. Stretch it in front. If not, you can hold on to your ankle or your cuff. Or you can use a ring or strap and see if you can open up. So notice this left knee has to open to counterbalance. Okay, you can reach your arm up Or you can balance with this leg straight, that's fine too. But I think it's easier to wing it out together because we're winging. And then slowly come back through center. Exhale, release that leg down over to the other side. So either give it a squeeze first, then you can help the ankle up this way, or you can swing it up yourself. All that time still balancing, hips moving slightly, flexing the foot. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, we're going to twist. Left elbow outside the foot or anywhere along the leg. Press the palms together. Keep pushing the left knee away towards the ground. Feel the opening here in towards your left hip. One more breath here. Feel the wobble. If there's no wobbles, that's not normal. And then slowly come back through center. Hook left toe, and then remember kicking it out. So if you can't reach it, you can hold on to your foot, and then slowly we're going to open that hip up. So start moving the right leg, right arm extend. So it's asymmetrical, it's challenging on the wheel. Wheel's going to move. Breathe here, nice and deep. Hi Needy, if you missed out all the one in the front, you can do the recording later. So now we're just playing, but you need to be warm up. So we'll see what we can do together. So slowly release, come back through center. Open up your feet. And let's windshield wiper. So we want to now open up into the hips even more. So let's step off the wheel. Bring the wheel in the center. Step in towards a lizard. So for Needy, you can join us here because we're just opening up into the hips. So here, either you can have your left knee down or you can have it up in lizard. You can rest your elbows on the wheel. Come into this if you want more active. You want this right hip to open up here. Nice deep breath as we slowly open. You can sway. You can stay still. Really lengthening in towards the hip flexor here. Breathing, toes pointing forward. So if you got your knee up, lower it down, and we're going to do the switch. So stepping the left foot outside the wheel again. You can stay here with the knee lowered, less active, but you're still opening up. You can sort of move into it, or if you prefer, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and then do the same sway in front and back. Really getting into the hips in this lizard pose. So we're going to combine everything together. We're opening in towards the lower back too. So if you have not done this before, we're going to slowly lower the knee back down, coming back through here. And we're going to do chin stand. So we are nice and warm. So Needy, if you're not warm, you can always watch and you can do the whole video later on and try it on your own. So here, you're in kneeling, wheel in front of you. You're going to come down on towards the belly. Again, this might be different from person to person. You need to get used to have the wheel under your belly. It may feel uncomfortable, it's difficult to breathe. You just have to get used to it. Unless it's pain, then of course, no go. So chin stand is where your palms, fingers wide, elbows bend back. So make sure the elbow eye faces forward and not sideways, because if it faces towards each other, when you bend your elbows, it goes this way. We want in front so that it bends back. So if this is all you can do, just get used to it, having the wheel roll over your belly, and your elbow will graze the side of your ribs. If you're ready, and those who have done it, you're just going to go and lower elbows in, and then see if you can touch your chin down, and maybe the feet comes up. Getting used to this, and also the stretch in towards the neck here. If you're ready, and you feel like my belly can take it, that's why you don't do it with your belly full, not right after breakfast. You get your chin down, and then you're going to push in towards your palm, lift up the legs, and then of course you can play with bending the knee. We warm up our quads. Whatever you want to do. Then of course, pushing back up. So you can try that. So that's a chin stand. So have a few rounds. If not, just do right here. Being lower, tap down, lift a bit up. But don't have to shoot it up all the way with the legs up. If you're more advanced, of course, you can do one leg, bend, but keep the elbow squeezing in. That's your shelf. Once it goes out, you're going to press too much on your chin. Some people have the nose down, some people are not comfortable, the chin down, or you can always have a cushion below if it's really too much on that angle of the neck. Again, it depends on individual. So some people will do it more of head down, squeeze. You can still do chin stand without the chin touching down. Okay? So strong arm. So that's the one. Then the next one, we're going to combine two things, which is a, what is it called? EPK, EKP, Akapada Kundiasana 2 with a chin stand. But of course, if you're still at the beginning of your chin stand, of course you can't combine the two, but at least you will know how to do a EK or EPK, yes, EPK 2 on your own. But the wheel will assist you a lot because it either lift up your thigh or it lift up the leg. So we will have several versions of this, or supporting the leg that flies out. So it's actually called flying splits in English and EPK2 in Sanskrit. So we'll do the first version, which is the thigh, which I think is the easier version. You're going to step in towards lizard. Palms are going to be down. You need to get the shoulder on the inside by the side of your leg. So if this is too much, you practice here just to be able to get the thigh under the back of your tricep. This is the minimum. If you're here and you're okay, you are going to get the left thigh on towards the wheel. So you may have to shift. So just now we were doing our flow with the thigh on the wheel. So this is to get used to this. So maybe you get to here, stay here, absolutely fine. You can play with bending to make sure that the back is stable. Then the next step is to make sure this shoulder is nice and under, and see if you can walk the leg up. See if you can bend the leg back, so you're balancing. If you're okay, you are bending down. If you're okay, kick it out. So that's your EPK2. Of course, if this is too much, we have a cheat, which is your block. If you have blocks, get it under for your chest. If your arm can't do your chaturanga well, you're still building up strength, you can come here. Make sure blocks under, and then when you bend out and your leg, whether you want to straighten it, you are here. You're not going to fall off. If halfway you go, I can't pick myself up, you still have your blocks here. Then just release the leg, come down as gracefully as you can. You're still practicing, but it's step by step, as opposed to when you have no strength and you can't get your splits out, you can still sort of do a version of it. So you can always try. So I'm going to show you on this side. So you can always start off with lizard, with the thigh on top of the wheel here. So you can practice here first, getting used to the thigh here moving so that you're putting a good amount of strength through the wheel without falling. So you're here, lizard, whichever. And then if you feel your shoulders are more open, get here. Okay? And see if you can walk the foot over and see if you can lift that up or bend it back. And then the next step is to chaturanga down, fly out. And of course, like the other side, if you don't have enough of arm strength, then the blocks come down to help you, so that if you decide to go for it and trying to bend it down, you have the block here. And you're still building up strength because the arms are still taking some weight here. And of course, if you want to challenge yourself, see if you can push yourself up and release. And remember about chaturanga, elbow facing forward. So as you come down here, right shoulder dips down. You have your elbow squeezing next to your ribs, sort of providing a shelf. So maybe if you feel like I'm not strong enough, you can keep the leg down and then practice the bend, deep down, come up. So whichever version, there's several steps. You're not going to fly straight away. It takes work. Just like you're learning to cycle, you have your training wheels. Use the wheel as your training wheel. Okay, so there's two versions to use this. I feel that the thigh under here is the best because it takes most of the weight. Of course, there's another version where you use it nearer the back of the leg. Just like if you do lizard, you can do lizard from here where the foot is on the back. So same thing, you can work. So you have 3 steps in just now the version, and then if you feel confident, move off to this. But you can feel immediately the weight, the wrist takes a lot of weight when you have just the foot, because the thigh now has to work to hold up the rest of the leg, and some weight is taken by the wheel. So whichever version you do, or you can just practice lizard here, getting used to have your foot under or above the wheel or the thigh. So these are the 2 versions. I'm not going to show you the third because the third one involves the front leg on this wheel, which is not the most comfortable. But the wheel assists you whichever way you want to try. So the version I was telling you about, so eventually when you sort of get everything going, you can do both things. So one, the other way is you have the wheel in front of you. You're coming in towards a chin stand. Wait. So you have to position the wheel under your belly correctly. So that's again a learning process. So once you're here, so the other version is coming from a flying splits in towards a chin stand. So I have not practiced this for a while. So let's see what has happened. So thigh on the wheel, say you're coming from a flying splits, you push it back and then come into a chin stand. The only difference is only one thigh is on the wheel. So the transition is very nice. If it's done properly, I don't think I demo it well enough, but that's your flying split. You kick it back, chin comes down to give you the strength, push the thigh, and then come in towards your chin stand. It's slightly different because the thigh is further back in the chin stand as opposed to when we do standard chin stand, it's under your belly. People can play with elbow. You can do the same thing, fancy. But again, it's about getting used to the wheel pressing to your belly. It's just like when you started with, say, crow pose, where you're not used to have the knee on your elbow. So when I started, I get really lots of calluses, rough skin, because you're not used to it being in contact. Same thing with the wheel here. Okay, so if you want to play, and I did say it was going to be a light day, right? We will come to a stretch. So no more. We're going to stretch here, so Nini can join in with us here. Come to a nice shake out your legs, shake out your wrists, because it's really heavy on the wrist. So once you're ready, we're going to come to a nice stretch here. So option, you can use your wheel to assist. You can use your wheel to get deeper. So coming into a wide-legged Janu Sirsasana, you can use the wheel to hook and then fold it in. You can use it on the side to fold deeper, whichever you prefer. Or, I forgot one more option, is heel up to get really into the hamstring. So you have 3 ways of using it. Okay? So it's up to you. Your own body will tell you which suits you. So if you're more flexible and you want to, or you want to work towards a better flexibility, then have it above. The height will help you to get into the hamstring. So breathing here as we slow back down. As promised, we have a nice about 15 minutes of cool down. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up. So option here, again, you can come into revolve side stretch with the heel on it. You can get the elbow in, hold on to the side, and revolve side stretch from here. So a big stretch in the inner thigh. Again, you can have the wheel on the side, rest the elbow, and then sort of reach over. You can catch your wrist and still feel nice. So if you've got your heel up on the wheel, it's more of the inner thigh stretch. If you use the wheel on this way, you will feel more on the left side stretch. So there's no one perfect pose position for you. There'll be one that feels better for you right here, right now. Maybe another day you feel better from another direction. So whichever version, make sure the left thigh stays down. Flex into your right foot, breathing here nice and deep. Now slowly we're going to come back up. Take the wheel in the center. You're going to release our spine, roll it away. And take your head between your biceps, grounding down the sit bones. Lengthen out your spine here. Breathe. And then slowly on your next inhale, coming back up, changing sides. So again, whichever you did on that side, you can repeat on here. Or if you are heavily imbalanced, like one side is super flexible and one side is super stiff, then you may change it out depending on which you prefer. So either hook it, turn your body towards the left leg, and then folding down. So that gives you a bit of a torque to pull and lengthen out. Or if you prefer, just on the side to lengthen, or heel on top of the wheel. So again, never comparing because everybody's body is different. So one will feel totally right for you here. And then feel that stretch down that leg, down the back. And then the stretch of the legs is always good after you've hiked. So always do some stretches after activity, before and after, to release the tight muscles that have been working. Now slowly inhale, coming back up, choosing the version of revolve side stretch you prefer with the heel up, holding to the wheel, and then coming in towards your side stretch here. Or you can have the heel down and really feel into it. Doesn't matter which version. It's about lengthening out the sides again. A couple more breaths. And then slowly coming back up. If you got your heel up, help it down. Still sort of the same angle as you move the wheel in the center. Inhale to stretch out your spine, and then exhale, folding from your waist down. Squeeze your hip between your bicep, lengthening out, but at the same time sinking through your hips and your sit bones. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly on your next inhale, roll yourself up. Let's slide this left leg on top of the right, coming into Gomukhasana. So take your time. Make sure the sit bone's grounded. It may be slightly off. It doesn't need to be totally stacked. Wing out your legs here. And then you have the option, either Gomukhasana, arms using your wheel, which is behind, right hand holding, squeezing in, left arm reaches back. So if you want to stretch into the shoulders, so squeeze the elbows in center and then folding forward. So you're going to feel it in the shoulders. You're going to feel it in your hips for sure. As you lean back, you got the extra weight. Or if you prefer, then folding forward with your wheel. Or if you want to do eager, to give those arms a nice deltoid, nice massage, then right arm under left, or hugging it in, and then roll forward, give yourself a hug. So eager arms, resting, or if you continue to want to open up. So choose whichever feels good. So I'm going to do Gomukhasana. So about 4 to 5 breaths here. So again, one variation will be the one that is just right for you here, that feels good for your body. Two more breaths. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up, release your wheel. If you're having a bind, you're going to lean back and just switch over. So this time left leg under, right leg on top. Take the time to sort of adjust the hips out and then choose whichever suits you. So eager will be left arm on the right, or left arm on the right to hug yourself and lean forward, or just the standard folding forward, which will feel good for that hip. So Gomukhasana will be left arm or elbow facing up, right arm reaching behind. So this is my tighter side. And then you can fold forward. Make sure the sit bones grounded, both of them, so you feel that nice extension and lengthening on the right side through the right outer hip. Squeeze the thighs together, really press down the sit bones. 3 more breaths here. And then slowly on your next inhale, from wherever you are, rising up, releasing. Let's take ourselves slightly forward. If you are like me at the back of the mat, feet nice and wide, take your wheel behind, and we're just going to do some back bends. So make sure your wheel is nice and in contact. You are pressing down, maybe in towards your middle back. Your lower back's going to curve, and then you're going to interlock your fingers behind your head to support your neck as always. Elbows roll back. Feel the shoulder blade squeezing in, and give it a nice chest open, arch that back. So if that feels good, stay here. If you want to go a bit more, then lift up the hips, roll out the wheel up and down the length of your spine, maybe all the way to the lower back, up through the middle, between the shoulder blades. So it's option 2, keep staying here, rolling and massaging your back. If you're okay to go a bit more in towards your fish pose, then you're going to get the wheel maybe about the middle back. You may have to walk your heels in, so keep them nice and wide, and then roll back till the wheel is right under your lower back. If your head touches down, hands can come down. You're nice and supported. You can keep the legs bent, walk it in, and then open up your arms. If you want to straighten it out, make sure thighs are taut. So you are engaging in towards your quad, heels down, toes up, flex. That way, you will feel your lower back sort of holding onto your wheel so that you won't fall to either side. Hands can spray out and let your shoulders open and drape away. So if this is okay for your lower back, stay there. If you're coming out of it, make sure you interlock your fingers and hands behind your neck. Bend your knees. Roll the wheel back forward till your hips touches down. And all that time, your neck is supported. So that's the most important. So wherever you are, choose which you prefer. So a lot of people love wheel for the back opening. You're nice and supported. You're not fearing of your back giving way. The wheel is there to catch you. Of course, you have to practice with care to make sure you're doing it correctly so it doesn't roll away. I'm just happy just doing this because it's more than enough for my back. And just a few more breaths here wherever you are. So if you're in the full fish pose, slowly start bringing yourself back. Remember, support your neck. And then slowly get your hips back down. You're going to reach your palms down. Come into a butterfly with your feet facing each other. Take your wheel in between. And then come to rest with your forehead down. Let your breath come back to normal. So whenever we do back bends, our heart rate, our heart pressure tends to go up. So we counter it with a forward fold. So bending forward, folding forward. And just let your heart rate and breath and blood pressure sort of come back down. Just a couple more breaths here, and then we come onto our back. Couple of twists, and then Shavasana. Now slowly on your next inhale, lifting up. Wheel's going to stay exactly where it is. Palms behind you, feet on your wheel, and then slowly lower down onto your back. So your feet is equal side by side, so make sure you've got space for both feet on it. You can stay here, rolling it out, straighten out your legs, bending in if that feels nice on the feet, on the legs. If you want to have a gentle mild inversion, you can place your both feet on your wheel, palms by the side of your hips. Inhale, lift up the hips, coming into a bridge pose. So squeeze that thighs together. You can even support the hips or the lower back up, or you can keep the hands down. And just move through a few rounds, lowering and lifting. You should feel the hamstring behind your thighs firing up. So this is a good way to strengthen out your hamstring if you wish, or just relax your back. And then of course, after a few rounds, you can release those hamstring by straightening, bending, or even doing a Baddha Konasana, supine, and have your feet face each other and your thighs wing out. So wherever you are, if you're doing bridge, holding or moving, or you've just totally said it's enough, I'm resting, then rest in whichever position you wish to. And then we'll do a couple of twists just to neutralize the spine before we get on with the rest of our day. So if you've got your legs on the wheel, straight legs, come to a butterfly pose. So bring the feet to face each other, thighs and knees away from each other. And then let's slowly open and close your legs like a book, a page on a book. So bring the left knee in towards the right. So take the effort to make the knees meet. So make sure your wheels is nice and stable, and then open up the page again, and then the right knee is going to go over the left. Feel that gentle twist onto the lower back. So about 3 times in total, and on the last one we're going to hold. So your arms can come up to a T, and then maybe if you have the knee meet over the left, you turn your neck towards the right to complete the full twist of your whole spine. And we'll all meet back on the right. So both knees facing the right. Your feet, your ankle, your knees are stacked. Your hips will not be. It'll be slightly behind your left hip. Maybe turn to look over your left fingertips. Just notice this gentle twist here. Couple of breaths here. And then slowly opening back up. Bringing your right knee to meet the left over on the left side. And then turn your head towards the right. So stacking feet, ankle, calf, knees and thighs, but not your hips. That's fine. Because if you stack the hip, the wheel will just going to roll over to the left. Couple more breaths. And just feel your body cooling down, your breath calming down. And then on your next inhale, open up your knees, coming back just one breath here in the Baddha Konasana. And then on your exhale, straighten out your legs, heels on your wheel in this elevated Shavasana. Let your whole body be heavy, your whole back be heavy, your heels, your legs heavy on the wheel. Again, having your legs slightly above your heart will help with the cooling, the slowing down of your heart rate, and also your blood pressure. So take these few moments to allow your body to process the practice, to absorb all the goodness you've generated today. Also taking this quiet moment to acknowledge and honor your practice and yourself being here on the mat. So nothing more to do, just feeling nice and relaxed. So you can stay here for longer if it feels good for the feet, especially to be raised up. So it's good after spending time on the feet, the legs, after your walk. You can do this at night against the bed, or you can do it at night on the sofa, just bringing some taller object to put your feet up, So that's why they have the term put the feet up. So we are literally doing it with our feet up. So of course you're welcome to stay longer. If not, slowly make your way up towards the front of the mat in a nice comfortable sit with your eyes closed. Make sure your wheel is safely put away and it doesn't roll away. Roll your shoulders back. Roll your neck a bit around, release any last remaining tension. And let's bring your palms in towards your chest center, bowing to yourself. I honor the time that you decide to spend on the mat with me today, and I appreciate every one of you. And I thank you once again, and I hope to see you tomorrow for practice. Namaste.